What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers podcast, episode 110. Let's go. We got only one event to talk about from this weekend, UFC Denver. It was a pretty alright card going in. Wasn't the most stacked out on names or anything, but there were a lot of gems in it. A very good night of prospects for sure. Heading into it.
Heading in.
Because coming out of that, most of our prospects that we were looking forward to, mainly on the prelims, they just did not go the way that we were thinking.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But
kind of sad.
Before we get into all that, as always, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. It helps out. Let's go. But UFC Denver, headlined with Thug Rose Namajunas. Hometown, I'm pretty sure she lives like pretty close to Denver, but you know, home state, all that. Good for Rose. I don't even know if she's born there. Yeah,
she was not. It's really funny because there's so many people that I thought that were born in Colorado, and literally none of them were, because Rose wasn't born in Colorado. Apparently, Dober wasn't born in Colorado, and I think that was it for the card. But you know, knowing that Gaethje wasn't, like, there's just so many people that I was like, oh, they're Colorado people, and they're not.
Yeah, just move here and train for enough years that you just get adapted. You know, like you get adopted from the
Nobody's
Colorado
actually from this state.
No one. Is it? If you're from this state, you're probably not good, like, naturally. You know what I mean? But we'll move on.
We'll get into that.
That's a whole other topic for a whole other day.
You don't like the natives?
All right.
I feel like now we need to clarify that that's a joke, because Colorado people call themselves natives, and it's crazy.
Yes,
like if they were born here.
Yes. Either way, Thug Rose Namajunas making, I think this would be her third fight at 125 pounds since moving up. Was supposed to be taken on Macy Barber, which would have been a much better fight, just much more relevant to the top of the division, all of that.
Yeah.
Short notice, Macy has to pull out due to injury. Tracy Cortez fills in. Whole lot of questions going in. How do you guys feel about everything afterwards? Because that was a pretty easy unanimous decision win for Thug Rose Namajunas.
I mean, I'm not surprised at all, honestly, because it's like, this is such a jump up in competition. It's like, yes, she was preparing for a fight for Miranda literally next week, but like Miranda Maverick and Rose are very different people in sense of just like, who they are, what they've accomplished, and their skill level.
Yes.
The people she's
and the actual.
Sorry, what?
And their actual styles in terms of fighting.
Yeah, but so it's like the people that she has beat are just nowhere near the level that Rose is. And it's like Tracy's very scrappy, and like sometimes she'll try to take it to the ground, but Rose is really good at distance management, head movement, and just keeping people where she wants them, especially if they've never fought that level of competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the ground, Rose is nasty on the ground. Like, there's no way around that. Like, it was just not a fight for Tracy to win, bro.
Yeah, no, people forget, like, Rose Namajunas, her base is jiu-jitsu. Like, everyone forgets that because she is such a good kickboxer.
Yeah.
But her base is jiu-jitsu, and she is really nasty on the ground, and she's really good at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially from top position.
Yeah, because it's like, it's kind of crazy just like, you know, looking at just stats and everything like that. So this was Tracy's 7th UFC fight, 6-0 coming in. Every single fight she has had has gone to decision inside of the UFC. Or one of them is Contender Series, sorry. So, 5-0 in the UFC. But, you know, just counting that in. Out of all of those fights, with all of them going to decision, all 3 rounds, this is her first 5-round fight. Third lowest amount of strikes that she's landed on an opponent out of all the ones that she's fought. So it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, had the most time to work, and it's like, just the trickiness and the skills of Rose in the stand-up. It's like, because going into it, you know, I just had the thought in my head where it's like, we talk a lot about Rose, but it's like, even a bad Rose, she should be able to get it done against Tracy. Within the first, like, 40 seconds of watching that fight, it's like, oh, Rose is on point tonight. This is her. This is going to be her show.
This is her. Yeah. Unless Tracy somehow hits her with a wild shot that drops her and shit.
But it's Rose, the one who got the knockdown round 1. Like,
no, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless, like, there was no way I saw, like, after, like, the first minute or so, it's like, Yeah, Cortez is just gonna need to get a finish to win this fight. It's Rose's night.
Yeah, but it just really wasn't her fight to win, honestly.
No,
Yeah, no.
I don't think anyone expected her to win this fight.
Yeah, definitely the odds were like for sure stacked against her. It's like, yeah, because just thinking that maybe with the grappling might be able to mix it up. It's like, yeah, fucking Rose landed 5 takedowns. It's like only one fight in her UFC career has she ever landed more than that. Just like that double leg into like just tripping out the leg is just so nice. She was able to time it so beautifully. And then, yeah, like you said, dropping her in the first round, just a real fast, clean left hand that came in, just a left hook wrapped around, just caught her clean. It's man, just levels ahead of her. The speed was so much like that was so apparent. It's like Tracy tried, especially like 4th, 5th round, just like coming out a little bit, just trying to make it more brawly, get like in there and land some shots, but it just way too late.
Just like, bro, stop moving, come here. And Rose,
it's just like,
nope, can't get me.
Yeah, no.
Is when she like it was like a minute into the second round where like she put her arms up or whatever, and I instantly I'm just like, bro, like Rose's style is to fucking cruise around you, popping you with everything that she wants when she finds the timing, all of that. You can't be 6 minutes into a 25-minute fight putting your hands up like, oh, stop moving, kind of a thing. It's like, oh man, yeah. I definitely felt bad for Tracy. It's like just a rough one for her.
Taking that style of a fighter on short notice is extremely rough as well. You have no time to prepare for it or anything. Yeah, like taking on Wonder Boy or MVP like on short notice. It's just like, that's just rough. It's rough to game plan in general, even when you have 8 weeks to fucking train for it.
Nah, for sure. And yeah, and it's like, especially when you're 5-0 in the UFC, and you know what I mean? Like, the level of competition is just not even close. It's like,
that's what I'm saying.
Rose has been in more title fights than Tracy has had UFC fights.
Like her last fight was with Jasmine Jasudavicius. Like, Jasmine to Rose, very different.
Yeah,
that's a huge jump.
But yeah, man, just very solid win for Rose.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like with this win, obviously if she fought Macy, who is in the top 5, that just would have been a better name on the resume for her moving towards like the title picture. How do you think everything is gonna play out at 125? How you guys feeling about like just the top, and where does Rose fit into all of it?
Bruh, I'm feeling so many ways because obviously it's been so log jammed because they've pushed off the Valentina Alexa 3 fight,
Yep.
Yeah.
And now apparently with September coming up, Valentina doesn't want to fight there. Like, there are just rumors that she doesn't want to fight there. Because I know originally after their second fight, Valentina said that, she wants to do Kyrgyzstan Independence Day, like, let's go there, whatever, like we did that Mexican Independence Day, let's do one for me. And then when this was coming around, Valentina talking about, oh, it's not Mexican Independence Day themed. Like, it's not on the day. It's just around there. They're going to do something else for it. And then Alexa, like, no, the Sphere is Noche UFC. Like, it's Mexican Independence Day. That's what we're doing for it, So I wonder if she realized, like, oh, wait, that is that. I don't want to do that. That's what I said. And now she's not going to fight. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But if that happens, it's like, where does that put everything? Would they still do it and maybe try to throw Manon in there? Would it just get pushed back even further? I don't know. So I kind of feel like she might have to fight, like they might rebook Macy, or maybe they'll go to Rose Erin. I'm not sure, but there's no way she's just gonna sit out until after this gets done, and then after Manon gets done, you know what I mean? Like, she's gonna have to keep working.
No, for sure. Because that's where if Valentina is just like, no, I'm not fighting on that day, I don't think they're gonna be like, okay, well, now we'll just find a later date for you guys to fight. I feel like they're just gonna be like, you're okay, then we're going with something else. Obviously, the clear answer for that is to go with Manon, but it's just like, it's one of those things where Alexa Grasso versus Valentina 3, like, those are 2 big names. Like, that's a big fight. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot to that. I don't know if they want to replace that with just Alexa versus Manon, because Manon's the next one in line. It's like, there is no hype on Manon. Nobody cares about her. She doesn't have the most exciting wins, like, especially as of late. Like, she's older. There's no real reason to push her other than, like, France but they have so many other bigger stars, like, potentially, that they could push, that Rose might be able to just slide into that.
She might be able to, but the thing is, if they do decide to go to a 3-title fight thing on the Sphere, I'm not sure they would mind just throwing that underneath 2 big title fights. You know, there was the leak that potentially could be Ilya and Max and Sean and Marab. So if that's the third one underneath that, I don't think they would give a shit. You know, that's not going to be what
honestly,
hurts
that's
or
not what
helps
people are
draws
buying
in.
for.
Exactly.
It's very true.
If anything, it's the perfect spot to throw that into.
Exactly, that'd be the perfect spot for a Manon Alexa Grasso fight, because then you can have Shevchenko versus her later, or if Rose gets rebooked against Macy and she wins, have her fight the winner of that, winner of if she fights, like if Rose fights Aaron, winner of that fight. You know what I mean?
However it goes, it just allows the division to keep moving.
Yeah, we just need to keep the division moving, and I think the UFC even knows that, because they're like, with at least heavyweight, it's like at least like I can understand in aspect Stipe Jones, but if it wasn't for Stipe, if like Stipe like had like, if Stipe comes out and it's like he has a career-ending injury, it's like, yeah, they're going to then just, all right, Blades and Aspinall already booked, but they're next, no matter what type shit. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, yeah. One of them things with the UFC is
just got to see how it plays out.
Yeah,
exactly.
You never exactly know how they want to go with things, and we know how fast things can change too, with just like just someone saying yes or someone saying no. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's like Rose definitely doesn't deserve to be slotted into the title picture, but I would just love that for her. That would make me so happy. I wouldn't mind it at all. For Tracy, though, obviously just a rough loss, but she's just already talking, like just ready to get back out there and just, you know what I mean, learn from the mistakes. Do you think she just gets, like, someone behind her, top 15? Do you think maybe she, like, fights for her spot in, like, the rankings, like UFC trying to just give her, like, a better fight kind of a thing, Just kind of just a good bounce back for, also of just stepping in on short notice, doing them a favor like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
They usually do kind of good things for people.
Also trying to just think who's booked, who's not booked at the moment.
Because, like,
so that's kind of the issue in my head right now.
I feel like with her and where her career is, it's like, while it would be nice to get like that easy bounce back, I feel like it would still be good for her to get an actual top 15 opponent that she could train for and be ready for. You know what I mean? The only person she's fought that's ranked, like I said, is Jasmine, and at the time I'm not even sure she was ranked. Like, Tracy kind of is just at number 11. I'm not really sure how. Good for her, but like
one of those things
just like on a streak, but you're just beating people outside of it, because before that, Melissa Gatto, Justine Kush, Kish, Stephanie Egger, you know what I mean? It's like,
I was about to say, anyone from like, I don't mind seeing Tracy against anyone from 9 to 14, obviously not herself, but 9, 10, 12, 13, or 14, any of those fights I would not mind seeing.
Yeah,
like people... I think she needs a top 15 opponent. I think like, let's do her versus Casey O'Neill. Because then, Casey,
even with the fight that she was supposed to be in, Miranda, it's like another person that's outside of there. It's like she's number 11.
Exactly.
Give her somebody in the top 15. Let her start building like better experience. I think that would be good for her, and especially if she's taking that loss and she's like, no, I got to get back, get on a streak. Like, that's good for her.
Yeah, I think, and actually now I'm thinking about it, I think her versus Casey O'Neill's perfect fight. Casey O'Neill hasn't fought since last December. Lost to De Silva. They were both coming off losses. One of them's going to be out. If Tracy wins, she keeps her spot and probably kicks O'Neill out of the rankings.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind that. I feel like that. Yeah, that's probably a good way to do it for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go. That was the main event to UFC Denver. Co-main event, some good old men scrapping at it. It was not. It was a lot of what I was expecting, but also just I thought that someone was going to be chinny enough to get caught within the first 2 rounds and go to sleep.
Yeah.
But then it just wasn't happening, and then just kept slowing down and just just old men fighting. But
which is funny because the 3rd round is when Muslim Salkov threw the most amount of strikes he threw in the fight.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It was not the best fight at all. Muslim Salikov gets the split decision win over Santiago Ponzinibbio. Was really funny that like all three judges scoring it for like whoever they scored the fight for.
Yep.
The two judges that scored it for Muslim gave him 1 and 2, Ponzi 3. The one judge that scored it for Ponzi gave him 1 and 2 and gave Muslim 3. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny how that flipped around and played out.
Because like, yeah, when I was watching the fight, I'm like, I think I even said like I thought it was 29-28 Muslim. I never gave like the rounds, but I thought it was 1-3 Muslim, 2 was the arguable round, and it just came down to one takedown control time because they basically had the same amount of strikes, and it just felt like on the feet it was pretty much similar. So it was just like, well, a little bit of the grappling edge goes to Ponzi, so he gets round 2.
Yeah,
that's why I scored it. Like,
but yeah, wasn't the worst fight, wasn't the best, just very not meaningful as well. You know what I mean? Just
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, yeah.
But good for the 40-year-old Muslim Salikov to get it done, you know?
Yep.
The featured bout, much more meaning, so much more on
oh my god.
This was amazing.
Bro,
fight of the night.
Last like fucking 3 weeks or whatever it's been, like these fucking cuts, man. Because we had like the one weekend where it was the PFL and UFC back-to-back days. Nasty ass cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And motherfucking Jean Silva on 2 weeks' notice, moving up a weight class after just fighting and knocking out Charles Jourdain, being the first one to finish him, comes in against Drew Dober, lightweight, and third round gets the doctor stoppage over him. Bro, he looks so fucking good in this fight.
Oh, yeah.
Those spinning elbows.
Yeah, the spinning elbows, the timing, it was perfect. Just knew that Drew Dober was going to walk into him, you know, so he was just lining them up clean. But then it's like, Drew is the fucking lightweight that has been recorded to weigh the most, like, on fight night after, like, rehydrating from the weigh-ins. I'm pretty sure it was, like, 189 he weighed in at one point to fucking
crazy.
Fucking
insane.
Massive ass fucking dude.
Yeah.
You saw how much bigger he was in there than Jean Silva.
Yeah.
Never, like, I'm sitting here watching him, like, play games in front of Drew Dober, laughing and all this shit.
Yo,
and
he
it's like,
shucked him off of him at one point. Literally just tossed him off of him.
But it's like, bro, what are you doing, like, fucking around with Drew Dober in front of you? You're gonna get knocked the fuck out. Dude is getting touched up here and there, never gets bruised, never gets lumped up, never even looked like he got anything really done to him. And the damage that he was able to put on Drew Dober in return.
Yeah, because it was like round 1, he split his eye open a little bit. Like there was just blood leaking down. It wasn't nothing too crazy. Round 2, at the end of the round, Silva timed a perfect spinning elbow, caught Dober right on the chin, and you seen he was wobbling. He was not there for a second, like he, you know.
No.
But like I said, end of the round, so round ends. Round 3 comes back, and he times another perfect elbow that just tears his shit apart.
Yeah.
And then he kind of did the same thing where he's pointing, and it's like, oh no, it's okay. And then you see the up close of like the cut. And it wasn't okay. Doctor called it.
The second he pointed, I think me and Jimmy were like, because we didn't see the cut yet. We were like, why are you pointing? And then like Dober turned and we're like, stop the fight. Stop the fight.
No, I could see the blood running down his face, but obviously just like couldn't see how bad it was. And then just on the big screen, the close up, I was like, oh no.
And it was one of those things too of like with just the cut not too long ago, Brendan Loughnane doing the same thing and seeing that, it's just like no, it's not. No. It's not happening. It's not bad. It's all right. Like Drew Dober's fine. Oh.
He was not fine.
It was terrible.
Nasty.
It was
nasty.
Dude, no longer had an eyebrow.
Yeah.
But what a great fight, though. It was so good.
Like you
fight
said,
of the night.
Yeah, like you said, easily fight of the night. It was so good, and it's for Jean Silva to come in and do that on short notice to Drew Dober. It's like dude is gonna go back down and fight, 145 pounds, but it's like give him a top 15 opponent. He deserves it.
Yeah.
There's no way like just what he was doing. First man to knock out Charles Jourdain and then turns around like it's nothing to get a cut like that and beat Drew Dober like he did.
Yeah, literally 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves.
I've got an idea.
What's your idea?
He wants to be on UFC Noche. Or Noche
Everyone
UFC.
wants to be on Noche.
Well, no, not him specifically. The opponent I'm thinking for him versus Ige. I want to see something real quick.
Oh my god. I feel like that's kind of fucked up to do to Ige.
I was just thinking that too, because Ige is tough as shit, and I feel like Silva's just gonna beat him up over 3 real bad, and...
But like also, yeah, you want to be on Noche UFC?
No, yeah, exactly, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean, is like, oh yeah, we'll do anything for this guy. You want John Silva? Like, that's fucked up, bro. He's just gonna get beat up.
But the thing is, it's a great fight because also the thing is that you have to take into account is also like, like Ige also has that power to be able to put him out too.
Yeah, but so does Dober. You know what I mean? Like, I know that it's up a weight class, so maybe like the extra weight helped his chin a bit, but it's like, so does Dober. He's got a lot of knockouts under his belt. If he was eating those shots and not looking rocked, like, I think he could eat Ige shots.
The one thing I do think on that is that I think Ige will be able to land in like a more effective way than Dober, where Dober's just more obvious with coming through just big like shots,
because
Ige can snipe like we'll kind of get to something similar on the the prelims, but like he could throw a clean 1-2 down the middle and rock your shit.
No, that's so true, because it's like Dober's like, I'm tough and most people are not as tough as me, so if I walk through this shot and hit you with my own big shot, you'll go down but I won't. So that's very true.
Yes. That's why I also think Ige is like a better like stylistically,
God, that's such a good fight.
Better fight in terms of like the technicalities of it.
Oh, that's so good and fucked up at the same time. I love it. And
I know.
hate it.
I know.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's why I suggested it, because it's one of those fights you both love and hate at the same time, but you're just like, but now
give Ige an easy fight for the spear. Give John a fight for the spear, and then let them fight on the next card. You know what I mean? Let Ige have a good favor.
It's fuck, man. I don't know what. Give him Barboza.
Would Barboza even be ready after getting beat by Lerone just a couple months ago like that? He might.
Still a couple months out.
Fine, you want to give him a ranked opponent, but we're not going to Ige? Fine. Bryce Mitchell.
Ah, brother.
That's fucked
up.
You
don't do that.
No.
You don't do that.
Not after the loss Bryce just came off of.
You don't end his career, brother. Like, that's not...
Okay, so he doesn't have any opponent that's in the ranking. So Nate Landwehr. Like,
give him
You
Aljo.
See what I'm saying?
No, Diego gets Aljo.
I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
Yeah, he could get, like, a Barboza, or he could get a Laurel Murphy or something, Like, there's options. There's options. But... We'll see how that goes, though. But motherfucking Jean Silva, man, he's another person to watch out at 145 pounds. Problem coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Next fight on the card, Gabriel Bonfim, our boy, getting it done over Ange Lusa. Unanimous decision win.
First time ever going to decision.
Yup. I was not really impressed by his performance here, honestly. I don't know. It's like I thought he was going to be able to just roll through him in the grappling, and just wasn't able to do that. So many bad ghillie attempts. And then it's like the striking is a striking. He's very powerful. He goes after it, but he's always there to be countered. And it's like it didn't go bad because it was Ange Lusa. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder if, because I just thought about it, but like, with this, it's obviously Ange Lusa, he's never been finished before. Yes. He does wrestle, but a lot of people that were not in this general area did not come out to Colorado until a couple days before the fight.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it was just like, getting used to the elevation, getting a bit more tired, a bit more sweaty, and just not actually having it in him to do a better attempt. Yeah. Because it's like, watching it was like, yo, what are you doing? The way he was slipping off those ghillies, like he's like, he doesn't have fucking like 10 of them. You know what I mean? It was just
right.
Not literally 10, but you know what I mean? Like he has multiple guillotines, he has multiple chokes in general. Like that's just his thing. Yeah. It just looked like a poor performance on his part because of what we're so used to, but I wonder if that was just a big factor.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I don't know. It just Just
Yeah,
one of those things
RNCs.
where it was like just watching that fight, I'm just like, man, I just don't see him beating like high level competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard. I
Again,
don't
it's
know.
one of those
Could always
things
be a
where
bad
it's like,
performance for sure.
no, 100%, but it's also one of those things where like I'm sitting here, it's like, yeah, if you're not able to get if he's not able to get like he got a takedown here, but like he gets a guy who has really good takedown defense and is a competent striker, he's gonna be in for a long night. But Dolby, like we already saw that. Like it's just one of those things where it's
Damn,
just
actually,
like
I didn't even realize like what he threw on him because the total strikes was 106 to 60 in favor of Bonfim.
Yeah, he threw 232.
Mm-hmm.
And like, cause that's the thing. Like he's
active.
He
I
had
know it
a
just never
high
looks clean,
output,
and
but
his
it
striking
just-
looks questionable.
Yeah, and like, cause
that's the thing.
That's where it's like, yeah, we're saying it's like he did a lot of good things, you know, but that's where it's like it's Ange Lusa.
They didn't
so that's
look
where it
good together. Is the thing. It didn't look fluid. It very much like we've talked about before, where it's like, all right, I'm striking now. All right, I'm grappling now. Like there wasn't that fluidity that he had that a lot of people have.
And it's just like, yeah, it just felt like it didn't feel like we got like an improved Bonfim or anything since the Dolby loss, you know what I mean? It just kind of felt like, okay, yeah, he's doing his shit, but it's like, you know, against this level of guy, so he's able to win, you know what I mean? I guess that's where it kind of just feels.
He's 26 years old too, so maybe he just needs some time to
For sure.
build up, make some money, and just maybe eventually they can get into like a better team, you know?
Yeah,
because it's not like they train anywhere notable or with that, you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure in his corner, like a lot of times it's his brother and his dad, and then like one other person, you know. So like maybe if they start branching out into more, what's the word?
Just like bigger, more reputable gyms, basically.
There we go. Yeah. Then maybe that could also help them, you know? So we're just going to kind of have to see how his career goes. But as of right now, it's not looking like he's going to do well in the top 15.
Yeah, but I mean, and like, that's where also afterwards, too, it's like, Lusa, he fought fucking Babadabalena, didn't get finished. He has 4 losses now, hasn't been finished in any of them. So it's like, okay, like, just gotta get him maybe against a more finishable guy, you know what I mean? And then he could still, like, may still have problems or, you know what I mean, look bad in whatever ways, but it's like...
If he can get it done, then...
Yeah.
And maybe if it's not at elevation, then we could see if there's any type of difference there at all, you know?
Yeah. So we'll just have to see how he looks in his next one and just, you know, just how he continues to look, but... Wasn't the best, but ain't never getting off the Bonfim train, so let's go. Glad to see him get back in the win column.
Yes.
Yes.
This next one was... I enjoyed this so much. This was... Juicy J versus motherfucking C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez. Going into... C-Rod... On paper, I feel like is the better, more technical, like, you know, polished fighter. But Juicy J, I think it had a 6-inch reach advantage, had like a 4-inch reach advantage or something.
Because they're 6'1" to I believe 5'7", 74.5-inch reach to 71.
70. Okay, yeah.
So 6'1" to 5'7" though is like the main thing, and then even just their experience, 30 and 11 to 11 and 2.
Yeah.
Dude has as many losses as Christian has wins. It's like
exactly.
Yeah.
And just bruh, Juicy J is just so wacky, so all over the place. He just loves to just such a fun fighter to watch, man. And as the fight is playing out, it's like all of the things of like just on both sides that I'm thinking, it's like I'm watching Juicy J just hit fucking good like random shots, land clean on C-Rod. I'm like, okay, yeah, like I thought he could do this, and then C-Rod just rips back with a few shots that are like just touching Juicy J or just getting out of the way, and it's like, it's like a Rosa's one punch away from getting knocked the fuck out clean, you know? C-Rod ends up getting the takedown on him though. And then you see fucking Julian just start to like sit up and go for the neck as soon as he locked.
It wasn't a takedown.
Wasn't it a takedown?
It was a reversal.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Julian got him down, and then they were.
Gotcha. My bad.
And then they like got reversed. He was standing, had him like had his feet, you know, gets in, goes into for the guard, and then just ends up. Julian Narosa just ends up getting the guillotine right in there, and C-Rod taps.
Because Like, cause I just had like that last position just in my head.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Because I just remember like thinking it's like, okay, like he has to like sit up and get this, and like he barely moves up a little bit and wrapped it up, and it was like, oh, that's fucking tight.
Yeah.
And then you seen like when C-Rod tapped, like he was tapping fast, panicking, like that was.
Yep.
Oh, first round submission for motherfucking Julian Rosa. Good for him, man. It definitely a rough loss for C-Rod, but just one of those things. I feel like
motherfucker's 26. He can come back. It's fine.
That I also just feel like he's got to figure out whatever it is to get right at 135. I just don't think 145 pounds is the place for him.
No,
I do agree. That would probably be the best. It's like he has decently long arms, but it's like he's 5'7", 71-inch reach. So there are people that are like short for their division, so it's like maybe as he grows he'll get into it, but you can tell that he kind of looks like he's holding maybe a little bit of extra weight, like it's not the right spot. And then you end up against people like Juicy J, who's 6'1". There's Sean Woodson in the division, who's is he 6'1", or is he 6'3"?
Sean Woodson is
he's unnecessarily tall and long for the division. You know what I mean? Like there are just
Sean Woodson versus
like there are just those random people, and then other people who are just normally sized for the division. He's still gonna be much smaller than, you know.
Exactly.
6'2".
Okay, 6'2".
Yeah.
So in between.
And definitely longer arms, you know, like
78-inch reach.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like I said, unnecessarily tall and long for 45.
Yes.
It's like, man, C-Rod, a very solid fighter. He will stick around in the UFC for a while. He will get a lot of very good wins, but he might also just take some rough losses, especially staying at 145. It's just going to be hard for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Main card opener. Going into it, it was like, why is it the main card opener? Okay, well, I understand that there's one very specific path for this to be like, okay, I get it to be the main card opener. Every other scenario, it should not be here, because Abdul Razak Al Hassan, out of all of his pro wins, one of them is in the second round, and I think it was like 20 seconds into the second round. It was something stupid. Every other one, it was a first round finish or he loses the fight. And it's against Cody Brundage, who is not good, he is not fun, and and
he's been finished multiple times. So Abdul, like, he can definitely go out there and knock him out.
Exactly.
Which he was on his way to.
Yeah, and oh my fucking god. Because, of course, Cody shoots on the takedown right away. And fucking Abdul is just smashing elbows and hammer fists, all of that into his head. He hits one to the back of the head, and he gets warned, hey, don't do that again. And then he goes, he hits, and he hits one to the back of the head again. And then Big Dan comes in, he breaks it apart, and you just seen in Cody's face that he, like, obviously when, like, it first happened, I'm just like, okay, like, he's probably pissed off, you know what I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like 1 minute and 2 minutes, then it's like, and he's still just looking the same way, still looking like just frustrated or just like whatever. It's like, this is going nowhere, man.
To me, his face didn't look frustrated. It looked simply defeated. Like, he looked like the more of the frustration was like, I don't want to do this, but like, oh no, what do I do? The crowd is booing me. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell immediately he did not want to get back in there because he got touched by Abdul and was like, oh fuck. He's old, but they say power's the last thing to go for a reason. Like,
yeah, man, it, like, he has all, like I said, all first round finishes basically for a reason. Like, that man's got fucking nuclear bombs in his fist, but it's just like he doesn't have it for long and he doesn't have a well-rounded skill set. So it's just But yeah,
that was the thing. It was just
wanted no parts of it, man. Wanted no parts of it. No contest. 37 seconds into the first round. That's how long it took for Cody to be like, I want no part of this, man.
It was really funny.
Yeah, terrible. And as soon as it ended, it was like, this is exactly why it shouldn't have been the main card opener. And get Cody Brundage the fuck out of the UFC. I'm done with it. I'm tired. I'm over it. I don't usually say that kind of shit, but I'm just over it.
No, I know. I was about to say, I'm usually not the cut this guy, type person, but Cody Brundage, get ready to learn PFL. Like, that just is what it is. Like, get out.
I don't want to see him there.
I
don't want to see him beat people in PFL that I want to see win.
You think Dude, he has to move down to 170 or move up to 205. He's not winning a single fight.
Listen, because, like, the thing is that, yeah, like you said, not normally people to say this, and it's not even like, oh, I hate you, da-da-da, you know what I mean? It's like, but bro, some people just shouldn't be here, even for themselves.
Yes.
He has 4 losses, the 1 no contest from the back of the head.
I thought he was 4 or 5 in 1 no.
Yeah, he's 4 or 5 and no, sorry, my bad. But 3 of those he was finished in. Yeah. 2 of his wins are, you know, like, because it was the illegal elbow to the back of the head by Jacob Malkoun, so he got that win by DQ. And then he slammed Zach Reese, which is such a fluke incident. That happens every couple of years for a reason. The fact that it happened twice on that night was absolutely insane. But either way, it's just like, it never happens, you know?
Because it's not like a fluke, you know, like, it was good for him to do that, but it's
the odds of it happening are low, so that's why I say fluke, you know, like,
yeah, it's just like, what real skill set does that kind of, you know what I mean, like, it just,
because really, if anything, it just shows, like, Zachary, like, Zachary either thought, like, all right, he's not gonna be able to actually, like, slam me into my head, or 2, it was a low IQ by Zachary, so he should have let go of the arm bar and just fell onto his back, and then just get a reset of position, essentially.
Yeah, like, UFC debut.
So you can easily no, exactly. That's the thing. Like, his win, UFC debut, was because of elbows to the back of the head. Trayshawn Gore, who was 3-1 at the time. Dalcho, it was not a great fighter.
No, not at all.
So it's just like, loses to Nick Maximov, Olajayshuk, Adolfo Vieira, Cedricus Dumas, like,
has
it's done.
2 questionable wins, loses to Bo Nickel, and then has this 37-second no contest. Like, it's just, like,
he's gonna, like, just send it back to LFA.
Yeah, it's not great. But yeah, so that was a waste of a main card slot, I would say. But the prelims, boy, were we real excited going into them, and as soon as the prelims were over, I was like, yep, I'm done with this card, and then we got that opener, I was like, oh, I'm real done with this card.
It's not that the prelims were bad, it was just sad, because there were so many people on there that we wanted, like, good things to happen, we wanted them to win, and then kind of the worst happened.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
The prelim featured bout, it was so hype and everything going in. Charles Energy Johnson versus Joshua Van. And through the first 2 rounds, fucking delivering.
Yes.
Such a good fight, so back and forth. Energy looked goddamn huge in there over Joshua Van. That was so, like, because, it was so funny, because, Kate was there watching live, but, like, Kate, as soon as, like, they were in the octagon, texting me, like, oh, he's, like, way bigger in person, and then, like, we're just watching on stream, just like, yo, he looks so fucking big in there. Like,
it looked like a 35, like, a big 35er and a 125er in there.
Yeah, because it's like, he's 5'9", and so the thing is, like, in person, he looked like he could have been fighting at 155 that night, you know what I mean? Because, like, there are, like, some people that are, like, a little bit on the shorter end at 55, like, around 5'9", 5'10". He's tall for flyweight, and I was like, bro, he looks huge in there. Like, it's not like his normal, like, tall and slim. Like, he looked big in there. I was like, oh my god.
No, yeah.
And then Joshua Van, just again, an extra small person, 5'5", with a 65-inch reach. Like,
probably could fight in, like, a male 115 division.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
100%.
Like,
easily. Like, I'm sure he could probably, if he was in one championship, like, he could easily fight men's strawweight for sure.
Yeah, because you got Charles, a big flyweight, versus Joshua Van, a very small flyweight. Like, just the total opposites of where flyweights could be, and good first 2 rounds, though.
Yeah, man. Like, Van just showing off that chin, because Energy was just landing so many good shots. Van never stopped walking forward. I loved so much how, like, Energy's just touching the leg, touching the body, like, just landing all of these shots. Never dissuade or anything. Van just kept pushing forward, and anytime he found his moments, he would touch up top twice, get Energy to cover up, and the double rip to the body instantly. As soon as it was open, he was always ripping it. It's so nice. It is one of those things where it's like, does it a bit too consistently, good fighters will be able to, like, know that, and they can counter it, you know? But it's like, I love the body work from Joshua Van throughout the fight. It's so nice. Just a great fight between the first 2 rounds. And then the 3rd round's about to start, and I'm like, oh man, like, we're like, we got a whole nother round of this.
Yep.
20 seconds into it. Energy clips him with I think it was a right hand that hit him.
The uppercut.
Or what? That like
no,
wobbled
before
him
that.
at first.
Sorry.
You seen the legs wobble, and I was like, "Oh no, this isn't good." Like, he's fucking hurt.
Comes in with a perfect uppercut right under, drops him.
You see that head?
Couple ground shots. Done over. Yeah. Damn near kneed Joshua Van in the head.
Yeah, 20 seconds into the third round, just vicious. It was such a beautiful uppercut, but it was just like, damn, I did not want to see that happen to Joshua Van. Like,
yeah,
no.
not at all.
I said after the fight, luckily, he's 22. He can bounce back from this. This is at least a good learning experience in terms of like, all right, what do I need to change? How do I need to change what I do? How can I improve?
Yeah, and it's just crazy too. Of like, I like just talking going into it too. With just like, oh, Joshua Van just like finally getting this fight, like all the different like opponent switches, all that. You know what I mean? Like, how's it gonna like doing real good? But goddamn, man, Charles Energy Johnson. He said that he wanted a top 15 ranking after that. Motherfucker definitely deserves it. Get David Dvorak the fuck out of the number 15 spot and put Energy in there.
Yeah, he's been on a good run.
Yeah.
It's like his debut, he lost to Makayev, beat your boy Zalga Zumagulov, and your other boy Jimmy Flick.
I know.
Went on a 3-fight losing streak against Ode Osborne, Cody Durden, and Rafael Estevam. And now he's on a 3-fight winning streak. Azat Maxim, he took his own. He beat Jake Hadley, knocked out Joshua Van. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him versus David Dvorak if they don't give him the actual ranking.
Honestly, I would, because he's had to fight so many grapplers, and this was such a fun fight. Like, this was so good. Don't give him another grappler that's you know what I mean? Fuck that. I feel like even if you're not going to give him someone inside the top 15, someone that just got bumped out of the top 15, give him Suma Darji. Because that's going to be a fucking war.
That's true.
That can be a war, yeah.
That would be so fun.
That would be a very fun fight.
All right, good fight.
Let's go. But then, it's like if he gets someone in the top, like they're basically anyone you put him within the top 15, it's going to end up being a solid fight. Like, it's flyweight. He's very good.
I don't want to end someone's career at flyweight. I'll keep that. Don't put him against Schnell. We don't need to end this man's career as well.
Oh my goodness. That'd be a good one though for as long
It'd
as
be a good one exactly, but it's like,
who knows, maybe Chanel just fucking lands a big bomb and puts him out, you know what I mean? It's like he's there to get hit for sure.
They both land a bomb on each other and knock each other out.
Knows. But yeah, very good fight, super fun fight, very good for Energy, and like you said, Van 22 years old. It's just like the only thing that worries me slightly is that it's like, I just hope it doesn't become one of those things where it's like, just fighting better guys and strikers and like motherfuckers just taking damage and it's like maybe takes a loss here or there, but it's rough, and now a dude's like 26 years old, but he's had 3 or 4 like kind of rough losses in the UFC,
right?
It always could happen. 22 years old.
I know. It's just always so hard. It's just one of those things. People coming in so young, they look so good against certain guys, and then it's like you just never know how it's gonna go as they just start to level up. You know what I mean? But I'm sure he'll be back just fine though. Let's go. We mentioned Jasmine Jasdavicius earlier, talking about Tracy Cortez. She was supposed to fight Viviane Araujo, I believe that's who she was gonna fight.
Yeah.
Viviane pulls out. In comes on short notice motherfucking Fatima Klein, double champ, CFFC. It just sucked because just saying like this is just such a hard position for her of like taking on Jasmine in this spot. Like looking at things like beforehand, and it's like the tallest fighter she's fought before this was 5'3", And now
she is 5'6", so
Yeah.
she's used to having inches of advantage.
And now, short notice UFC debut against top 15 Jasmine Jasdavicius, who's an inch taller, inch reach advantage. I think just as tough as shit as well too. Like, she is so durable, and it just sucked because it was like you saw so many glimpses of what makes Fatima good and why she was such a monster on the regional scene. But it really was like, you are undersized in this one, and it just wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure I don't know if undersized is the right word, but like, in terms of the matchup, underexperienced.
Definitely underexperienced, but the thing is that even though she's taller than people at strawweight, she's always fought at strawweight. She had one fight at flyweight prior to this. And so I feel like, she's just used to being bigger, but also used to being at a lower weight class. So it's like people might not be as strong, whatever it may be. It's
exactly.
And short notice against number 15, Jasmine, like Jimmy said, tough as shit. It was rough.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't the worst loss for sure, like, it wasn't terrible like that
or
anything. Like, definitely she'll probably take a lot away from this as well. Just turned 24 years old. Like, she'll probably just, come back way better. Just want to see her at 115 pounds. Get her someone outside the top 15, and she'll probably do some pretty damn good work. So, give it a year or so, she'll probably be a ranked top 15, 115-pound fighter.
Yeah, probably.
No, yeah.
Let's go. What else did we have on this prelims?
This one hurt me.
Montel and
because I legit thought Damon Blackshear was going to be able to win this fight.
Yeah, so Montel Jackson, Damon Blackshear. I thought that Montel might struggle with the grappling for a bit, but I thought he was going to be able to land something big late, get like maybe a third round knockout or something.
18 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just throws out the one, it doesn't land, but the two comes right down the pipe, right on the button, and Blackshear was just done.
Yeah.
He did not need the follow-up shots that he landed, but it was done. Press steps in, less than 20 seconds. I kind of wish Montel had called someone out. I always prefer when someone does something like that and calls out a name.
They were trying to set him up for it, like, like, who do you want? Like, is there anyone? Like, and he's like, anyone, I don't care.
Literally, he could have called out, like, literally anyone. Like, hell, call out, like, because he's not in the rankings, but if you want a ranking guy, cool, but someone who you can call out and have a good name against is like a Cody Garbrandt or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a known name and, all that, so it's just like, I just feel like if you're in that position and you get like a highlight reel knockout like that, you should probably have a name that you're thinking of at least.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like fighters mess up just easy moments to set themselves up like that. You know what I mean? It happens all the time.
Also, I'm sure with being a fighter on the prelims and, not having, like, this huge spotlight on him, I'm sure he wasn't necessarily expecting, like, who do you want next? Fighters are always hoping for the best and hoping for things. I'm sure he didn't expect to get an 18-second knockout and for them to be like, yo, after a performance like this,
Yeah, that's fair.
And then it's like you just did that, the adrenaline, put on the spot, your brain just goes blank, like anybody. Yeah. You don't have a name prepared, now you have to think of one.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, even if it's like wild and people are like, oh, you're delusional, like at that point, just call out the champ for no reason. It at least gets people talking.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because, you'll have fucking just ESPN being like, look at this knockout, and he calls for the champ. You know what I mean? Like, so
exactly.
It's something for sure. But yeah. Good for Montel Jackson for sure. Rough for Damon, but it's all right. He'll be back. He's a pretty solid fighter. Last real thing to other fight on the prelims that we cared about: Maria Agapova versus Lana Santos.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, did not go how we were hoping. Very much hoping Maria would get it done.
Coming back after a 2-year layoff, having reconstructive knee surgeries.
It's one of those. It's so hard. Like, just With MMA, it's like you only get to do it so few times a year, so you get a big injury like that. It's just it's just very hard to come back and be 100% yourself, get the performance that you want. And yeah, Luana Santos, a very solid fighter, 7-1 coming into it. The fucking throw that she got to just like that was just so solid. Gets into mount, was looking for the arm triangle throughout like so long. Maria was not tap into it, was doing very good to stay in there for
I know,
that.
I was so upset she gave up her back. I was like, bro, you were okay.
I know, and just
but like I'm sure it was just, you know, like, okay, I've been okay, maybe if now I can just get out of here real quick, but
tries to stand up, like you said, gives her back, and Santos just gets on it, rear naked choke right under the neck, and it would just gets it done in the first round, 327. But good for Luana Santos. Very sad for Maria, but hopefully she'll be back. Hopefully she looks good. You know what I mean? Just one of them things.
Yep.
I'm sure just getting back in there, even though the performance she didn't want, it's like just hopefully being able to get back in there again. Just, you know what I mean? Just get all the feels and everything. Let's go. It's like just sucks too because she's such a fun fighter, and it just like just didn't get to really see too much of it. You know what I mean?
No,
but those are all of the fights to talk about on this card. Bruh, Tapology?
Oh, I didn't even look at it.
Oh,
I did that shit.
You want a little peeky at what happened, Kate? Because holy fuck, it was terrible.
Well, I'm sure, because it's like, I know that all of the people I wanted to win basically lost, so I can only imagine. And I literally did it in less than a minute sitting in the place. Like, okay, I just got to get this done 5 minutes beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
oh, I lost.
I did about
came
30.
in last place.
Yup. I came in first out of all of us with 305 points. I got 5 correct picks out of 12.
We all got 5 correct. That's really funny.
I just happened to get 2 decisions.
Yeah, I had
getting
the one
5
decision
right
to semi.
And getting 300 points.
Yup. And
fucking 5-point loss.
Kate with the one decision, 270. Yeah, it was. I forget at what point that I checked it. I think it was going into like the featured bout or something, and I had like 4 correct picks, and I was like, "This is so bad." I was like,
it was like I think it was legitimately bomb theme because you were like, we were talking about like how it would be possible for either there was no way for me to beat you at that point.
Yeah.
No, it was going into the co-main, and it's like, all right, if Katie gets it right, she wins, but if any other way, you win. So I was like, and I was literally saying here, like, which would I rather want? To come in last, but you not be first, or me come in second? So I was hoping for the Ponzinibbio first round knockout.
Yeah.
Fuck Jimmy.
Yeah, that was the last thing. Just would have ended, I think, 50 points ahead or something. I forget exactly, but just
somewhere in there.
But
probably 20.
Terrible night in Tapology. It was, oh my goodness, but just one of those nights where I guess happy that I won, right? No, it was a terrible card. All the people that I really wanted to win, other than Bonfim and Rose, lost. It is terrible.
Yeah, actually, it's not going to be much better in terms of like our Tapology picks. I feel like
next week. Speaking of next week, we'll catch everyone on the preview to next week because boy, oh boy, it's probably going to be about 20 minutes of Jake Paul, Mike Perry talk and about 10 minutes of UFC talk, about 3.5 minutes of fight news, and let's go. Until then, we'll catch you all.
By far your best segue.
Peace out, everyone. Let's go.